Hi and welcome to Madmechanics. My name's Madman and today we're at Jono's Cruiser Customs and we're going to fit a drop bear big air kit for an XVS1100.
First of all, an introduction into Jono's Cruiser Customs. Australian owned, Australian made, customised motorcycle parts made right here in the Hunter Valley. If you jump on the website, you'll already see a huge range of parts available for most motorcycles. Everything from custom forward controls, lowering blocks to fork extensions, lowering links and handlebar raisers for Harley Davidson. But right now, we're here to have a look at the drop bear big air kit for the XVS1100, also available for the XVS650. In the kit, you're going to get a unifilter breather filter, foam filter treatment oil, 2 pilot jets, 2 main jets and 8 float bowl screws, along with 2 unifilter pod filters and some instructions on how to install. Remove the chrome cover from the left hand side of the bike. This will allow access to the throttle cables. Remove fuel line and drain the excess fuel. Remove your seat, then tank from the bike. A more detailed view can be found with a quick search on YouTube. Remove the air filter housing and backing plate, better known as the dog bowl. Next, remove the airbox from the top of the carburetors. Loosen off the locking nuts to the throttle cable, unclip and tuck up out of the way. Follow the wiring back from the carburetor, unclip the small tab at the top of the tappet covers, and then unplug the wiring from the bike. Loosen off the 2 screws to the hose clamp assembly, which attaches the carburetors to the inlet manifold. Now wrestle with the carburetors to remove them from the bike. Make sure to set yourself up a clean, clear workspace. Once you've done that, go ahead and loosen the screws at the bottom of the float bowl, draining all excess fuel. There are 4 screws located on each float bowl. Once you have removed these screws, you will be replacing them with the 4 Allen key bolts provided. The float bowl should come away from the carburetors quite easily. Now you will have access to the main jet and the pilot jet. When orientating your carburetors on the bench, make note of which was the front and which was the rear carb. This is important as the front cylinder and rear cylinder have different pilot jet sizes. No need to stress about the main jet as they are both the same size. Firmly tighten all the jets. Do not over tighten as this may cause damage to the jets and all the carburetors. This here is your PMS screw. In a clockwise manner, gently screw the PMS all the way in. To set the PMS, you will need 3.5 turns anti-clockwise. This can be done on the bike, but is much easier to do on the bench. You may find you'll need to adjust these PMS screws by a small amount once the bike is running. Now we need to adjust the needles. This requires the removal of the black plastic caps at the top of the carburetor. Make sure to adjust this one at a time. After you've removed the small metal circlip, you may need pliers to reach the needle. Counting from the top of the needle, you should see 5 notches. Place the clip on the 4th notch and then the plastic spacer. Some models may require shimming. When reinstalling the plastic backing plates, there's a few things to take note of. First, remember to put the small spring back in the metal circlip. Secondly, there is a small brass cylindrical spacer. It slides back into one of the screw holes. Thirdly, when repeating the needle adjustment for the second carburetor, take note of a small rubber O-ring. This should sit in a small hole just outside of the diaphragm on the carburetor backing plate. Once you've finished all your bench work, it's time to reinstall the carburetors back on the bike. Don't stress if this is a little difficult, but a second set of hands may go a long way. With the foam filter treatment oil supplied, generously apply to your new uni filter. It's important to massage into the filter, not leaving any dry spots. With the small plastic spacer inserted, it's now time to install onto your bike. Next, fit your breather filter to the crankcase breather hose. This should be cable tied up and out of the way. With all new parts installed, it's now time to reassemble the bike. The final part of this install is to make sure the carburetors are in sync. This can be done by attaching the vacuum lines to a manometer and adjusting with the balance screw at the bottom of the carburetors.
Alright, it's all done. Took all of about 2 hours, probably even less if you got stuck in. It's running heaps better. It's always had a bit of a backfire when riding. Now that's all been tuned and tidied up. It's got a main jet and a pilot jet, and obviously got the uni filter intake filters and also the breather filter on there as well. It's a really affordable kit to get a bit more power out of your bike, and obviously you know, get the bike cleaned up and running a lot better than factory. So if you're looking for something that's going to drastically change your bike, bang for buck, I definitely put my money in a drop bear big air kit from Jono's Cruiser Customs. Thanks for watching.